Hello, and happy Monday to you. Welcome to Marcella and Friends. I am Marcella D. Moore, also known as Cella D. And as always, it is my delight and pleasure to be here with you all tonight. And as always, when I show up bringing some of my amazing super friends. We talk about purpose, and then we share some other things with you. And I'm excited tonight, and I say this every time, but I am always excited about the people that I bring here on this broadcast because they are amazing. They're doing great things in the world. And for those of you who join me every week, you know that our conversation is always purpose. But before I start, I'm going to say welcome to those of you who may be watching the replay. If you're here, feel free watching the replay to put comments in the put your comments in. I promise you, we will come back and say hello to you. We will come back and respond to anything and everything that you place in the comments. If you are joining us live, I'm asking that at this time that you take a moment to say hello, let us know that you're here, and to share the broadcast. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to check my page. If y'all just give me a second and roll with me with this. I see it. And I am going to make sure that we are on, and we are on. So at this time, I am going to bring my amazing super friends who are joining me this evening. I'm going to bring them to the stage so that they can say hello to you. I am going to bring them to the stage so that you can see their faces and know that they are here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my amazing super friends here with me tonight, Miss Stephanie Bonelli and Miss Kathy Cherry. I'm so grateful that the both of you are here. So I'm going to ask you that if you take this moment to go ahead and find the broadcast on my page and share it to your social media platforms so that people will know that we are on and we can get this party started. Okay. I see us. I'm going to share it to the group. And then I am going to share. Were you able to find it? Let's see. Let's share it to the page. Let's see. Right here. All right. I found it. All right. And then if you have some people you want to join, go ahead and tag them on and tell them that you're here. Get your family members, your friends, so that they can join you in having this conversation and hearing what you have to say tonight. And so, okay, I got us. All right, awesome. So we're grateful. And this thing that I so love about social media, when we do these live broadcasts, when people can't join us live, they can always go back and watch the replay. And for us, a majority of the plays are from the replay. So we're grateful again. We welcome those of you who are watching the replay. We thank you for joining us. And we just want you to take a moment to comment in the comments, say hello. And even if you're doing the replay, to hit hashtag replay, and we will say hello to you tonight. So once again, welcome to Marcella and Friends, a broadcast that I do weekly. I navigate. Sometimes it's on a Monday night, other times it's on a Tuesday night. It depends on the availability of my super friends. Our mission when we come on is to encourage you, inspire you, motivate you to be your best self, and hoping that when we share the conversation with you concerning purpose, that you hear it, and that you not only hear it, but you allow it to saturate in your heart and your spirit. And it causes, when you do that, it causes a change and a shift in your life. So we are grateful again. And I'm just always excited because these two ladies, well, first of all, we just had our annual Motivate and Pray prayer breakfast. And we've been doing this prayer breakfast for many years. COVID came along, shut us down for a couple of years, and now we're building back, and we're building back strong. We're coming together with fellowship. And when we come together for our prayer breakfast, we just not coming together to fellowship. While fellowship is a great thing, we come together to discuss prayer. We come together to implement prayer so that we can be empowered. Motivate and Pray's mission is to encourage you to make prayer the first response in every area of your life. Simply put, pray first, then do something. So we just spent an amazing time together this past weekend. It was great. And I so celebrate these amazing ladies who are here with me tonight because they've been rolling with me for quite some time on the vending stage. And we've done many things over the years. It's been for Motivate and Pray, for the prayer breakfast. It's been for other events that I had the privilege of coordinating. We've done the ladies' night out and the ladies in red, which we are bringing back this year. I want you to circle the date. December 27th is on a Friday night. We are coming back, and we're coming back strong, and we are going to have an amazing time. So at this time, I am going to stop talking, and I am going to share the platform tonight with my super friends. We're going to start with my sister, Miss Stephanie Bonelli of Sidekicks to Go. I'm going to ask her to take a moment just to introduce herself so that you will know who she is. Stephanie, go ahead, sweetheart.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello. First, Marcella, thank you so much once again for having me. I'm Stephanie Hill Bonelli, and I'm just a small town girl from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Now living in Neptune, and I have some good things going on in my life, which we'll talk about soon. So stay tuned.
All right. All right. So, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And then we're going to shift over to my girl, Miss Kathy Cherry. Kathy, please take a moment, take yourself off of mute, and introduce yourself to those who are listening.
Hi there, I'm Kathy Cherry, and I'm the owner of House of Cherry LLC. And I live here in Somerset, but I spent most of my life in North Jersey, mostly Newark and the surrounding areas. But I've been here about 25 years now in Central New Jersey.
All right.
Yep.
So as you can hear and see, we are, Stephanie didn't say she's, I think, did you say you know, small town girl, but we Jersey girls. We from New Jersey. We're Jersey girls. And we're happy to be Jersey girls, even though New Jersey is something else and it's very expensive, but this is where we are. This is where God planted us, and that is where we are. So when we come together on Marcella and Friends, when I bring my super friends to the stage, I do so with the conversation of us talking about purpose. And because purpose is an amazing subject, it's not only an amazing subject, but it's something that we need we need to understand in order to understand the movement of our lives. And the late Dr. Miles Monroe once said that one of the wealthiest places on earth is at the cemetery, is at our local cemeteries. He said, because so many people die in the cemeteries with their gifts, with their talents, with the books they didn't read, without understanding and knowing their purpose. So purpose is so important. Purpose is valuable. Purpose is a game changer. He also said that when purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. That means that when you don't know what to do with yourself, when you don't know what to do with your life, it's very challenging to be able to navigate through life in a happy and joyful way. So that's why the subject of purpose is so important to me. So Stephanie, I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to ask you to go ahead and share what is purpose to you and how has understanding purpose affected your life?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, purpose for me is my reason for being, for my reason for existing. And purpose also aligns with my passion. And over the years, I've gotten that question of what's your purpose? Like, what is your passion? What is it that you do effortlessly? And so I went to prayer. I went into prayer about that over a few years going back, and I remember it being enlightened to me that I come from a world of excuse me, of being in active addiction, you know, and and at some point, 27 years ago, I'm in recovery now, right? And so at some point, yep, amen, you're right. And so, yeah, because I was a mess. I thank God for where I am now. And at some point, many women begin to like grab hold of me. They started to listen to what I was saying, and they started to ask me how do you do that? How do you stay doing that? Um, can I call you? Can you come pick me up? And so I got in touch with at some point that my purpose is to help myself. Because if I don't help myself first, I can't help others. Right. And so it's to help myself and then help others, and so and that's what I do effortlessly. I continue to help others, as I go to places where we continue to learn how to stay clean a day at a time. And it was an awesome revelation for me. And let me say this too, like some days it's really tiring. It's tiring, but God said, no, you got to keep going. They didn't give up on you, so you're not going to give up on others. Right? It really is, just to keep it real, because I'm like a realist. I am. People say to you, like how when you excuse me, you're going through and you know who to call. Like I know when I need to call somebody that's gonna co-sign my stuff, and I know when I need to call another person when I want somebody to tell me what's real. Right. And so I just keep going and at like helping myself and helping others. And so that's my purpose, is to help myself and help others. And that aligns today even with my business, Sidekicks to Go, which is not my business. I don't own the business. I always say I'm the managing member, which actually means, if you Google that, managing member means the owner, right? But I'm not the owner, like, because for me, humility is key. So I don't want to say I'm the owner, because God is the owner.
Yes.
But so that's my purpose, and that's what purpose means to me.
Awesome. And so, when we're on our journey, oftentimes we don't understand what life is, or what, at least in our earlier days, we don't understand. We're challenged with understanding why we go through things and why we experience certain things. And so for you to say that it's over 27 years you've been in recovery, and in that time you've been helping other people who have experienced the same thing. And so understanding your purpose, just like you say, at times it can be challenging. Sometimes it may feel overwhelming. Life may feel overwhelming, but when you understand and you know your purpose, it keeps you going. So that's why knowing your purpose is valuable. Understanding your purpose is valuable. You said something. You said that nobody gave up on you, so I can't give up, because now you're understanding your purpose. You understand that although you're going through something, it may be challenging, it may be heavy, but the fact that you are still here, you woke up this morning, you're still here, that lets me know that your purpose is still intact. And although challenges and different things come, you are still able to navigate through that process. So purpose is a game changer. Knowing your purpose is a game changer. Understanding your purpose is a game changer. And it makes the difference. So that's why it's important that we, as we walk throughout this journey, that we make it our business to uncover. I don't think we have to find. I don't believe that we got to find our purpose, because we come here with purpose. We were born with purpose. It's tattooed all over us. So we have to get to a place in our lives where we uncover the purpose. Right. And when we uncover the purpose, it helps us navigate through this journey called life. So that was good. And thank you so much for sharing that. And so now we're going to go to Miss Kathy. I'm going to ask you the same question. What does purpose mean to you? And how does understanding your purpose, how is that affected and been a part of your life? You got to take yourself off of mute, Kathy.
Okay. So I feel that my purpose is to give support and to be of service to others, regardless of what it is, that they're working on. As long as it's easy, as long as it's not illegal, whatever they whatever they're trying to do. If I can give my support to make their job a little easier, to get something done quicker, I'm there for the support, to support them. Now, I know how to lead because I run my business myself. It is a one-man job, so to speak, but I feel that I can be a great support to, my family, my friends, whatever it is that they're trying to do. I feel that I can be a part of getting the job done.
Right.
That's what I feel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so how has knowing that affected your life?
Well, I don't know. I guess I just kind of I probably say yes more than no. That's how it's affected my life. I still say no. Sometimes I inconvenience myself, but I just feel like, well, this is something I need to do for this person or the situation to help out. So I will go. I will inconvenience myself and go ahead and do it to be a part, to assist them in whatever manner I can do, just to ease the load. Yeah,
Right.
so it has affected my life, but it's not like in a really bad way, I don't feel.
Well, no, and when I say affected your life, I don't mean in a negative way. I mean, so now you know your purpose, and what we just talked about, knowing your purpose helps you to be able to be who you are today. It helps you to be able to navigate through the journey. And so that's why I say, so how has knowing it helped you, or how has it affected you? And I don't say that in a negative way, because not knowing your purpose can affect you in a negative way.
Right. I know I need to carve out some time, for the people in my life. And it's not all just about me.
Mhm.
So I do have to make time for them, for the situation. And I do.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so when we look at purpose and we talk about purpose, it's about, why are we here? What is just like when we talk about a phone, an iPhone, we have our iPhones. Most of us have iPhones, some have Android. But the phone is not just a phone that you hold. You have to do something with it. It has to be activated. And then a lot of times with these newer phones today, there's so many things you can scan with them. There are many things that you can do with these phones. But if you don't know the reason for this phone other than just having it and calling, and you don't understand the many other things that it can do, you're not able to take advantage of the many things that it can do. Each year something new comes out with these cell phones that a lot of times people don't even use the laptops anymore, because they can do stuff on the cell phone. But it is understanding what it is used for. So when we look at our lives, we look at what we have been called to do. We look at the passions that we have. We look at the different things that we are good at. There's some things that we can do with our eyes closed, and all of that is woven into the purpose that we have. And so that's why understanding and knowing what your purpose is a game changer for you in your life. Oftentimes, because I am an empowerment coach, when I talk to clients come to me, most of the time it's just, I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. I feel like, I don't know what's going on. And the first thing that we do is we assess. We do an assessment, because it's you do an assessment to find out where you are. And then the question comes, do you know your purpose? And most of the time the answer is no. And that's why that emptiness is there, because they don't know their purpose. And what we do from there, then after the assessment, then we ask the question, then we look at the things. We look at the things that they love to do. We look at the times that they were highly effective. We look at the results that they've had in their lives when they've done different things. All of those things help you identify what your purpose is. All of those things help you. And I joke around a lot sometimes, because I love music. Like, I love music. I all old school music. I know it word for word, singing it. I love music. I love line dancing and all that. But I can't sing a lick. Like, seriously, I can't sing a lick. So I understand that while I love music and I love to sing karaoke, I love to make a joyful noise, that singing is not a part of my purpose. So it's important that even when we look at the different things that we love to do, that we make we make an assessment and making sure that just because it's something I like to do may not be what I'm supposed to do. Does that make sense? So, Stephanie, I want to ask you this. When you were, what happened along the way in your recovering journey that connected you with your purpose? How did you get from being in a place of substance abuse, not having control of your life, and then becoming this woman that you are today on this journey where you can say that I'm set 27 years clean? Is it okay? Is it right to say it that way? I'm 27 years clean. I'm 27 years clean. And I am the CEO chosen to execute his orders of a business. So what happened along the way that got you to this point of being able to identify your purpose and it helping you to be who you are today?
So I would say the gift of desperation to change. That's what happened, you know. And I still remember that first day that I felt desperate to be where I am today. You know, not knowing where God was going to take me, but I was desperate to change my life. You know, I went through an awful lot. You know, I was homeless at one point. There were a lot of things, adversities that I went through, and I just know that when I go through adversity, God is just building my character, and not knowing that back then, you know, but when I go through now adversity, I just continue to remember that. But what happened along the way was the way that I was living, the way that I was merely existing. I really wasn't living. I was just existing, you know, just day by day, and no food, and some people couldn't imagine some of the things that I had gone through, you know, and but I must say that through it all, my family never turned their back on me. They never gave, like when you talked about tagging people to come in here, I tagged my mom. You know, if my dad was still on this earth, I would tag him too, because they know everything I went through. You know, my life is an open book. But I must tell you, Marcella, you know, this is my first time sharing on an open forum, on an open platform, about my life. And so there's a purpose in all of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anonymity means a lot to me. You know, for those of us that don't know, and I say those of us because there was a point I didn't know what anonymity meant. Anonymity means the bearing of no name, and I get to tell my story when I'm ready, and I wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready. So there's a purpose in all of this. So, you know, I just have a gift of being a good listener. I'm a good listener, you know, and so I don't know. I just remember like where I came from, Marcella. That's what I can just say, that like what happened along the way for me to get here is the gift of desperation, me being so desperate that I wanted to change, you know, and me being in that full surrender mode, just surrendering the belief that to surrender means to lose. But see, surrender really means to win.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just continue to keep all that stuff up front, you know, and that's what helped me along the way. And other people, if it wasn't for you women, you two women, and thousands of others, countless, let's just say that, countless of other women, I couldn't do this alone. This ain't just, it's my willingness, absolutely, and God's divine order for my life. But I absolutely could not do this without others. And I so acknowledge that. This is not a me thing of getting to where I am today, you know. And so I just humbly acknowledge that. I don't know. I'm so grateful.
No, and that's a good thing. So what were some of the steps? You said that being desperate, like, so I'm going to say that when you found yourself in a place, and when you saw yourself in that place, you looked at your life and you said, I don't want this. This is where I am, but I don't want this. I know what I can become. It's like God gave you a glimpse of who you could become. And so from there, you made a decision that I'm going this way. I'm going to push this way. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. What were some of the things that you did that helped get you from that space to on this path of purpose, on this path of recovery? What were some of the things that you do? Tell me two things that you did that you really did that were the things that really pushed you forward and you knew that you wasn't going back.
Two things that I really did that, and it sounds so cliche-ish, but the one thing was I stopped using. I just didn't use. I just didn't get high. I just didn't use. But on top of that, like that sits here, and on top of that, awful lot of prayer. A lot of prayer. I mean, I still, like, I could be talking to somebody today and I'm praying in my head because it's between me and God. Like, he knows my heart. I don't have to always like say a prayer out loud,
Right.
An awful lot of prayer back then. Those are the two things. If I'm glad you scaled it down, because there were many steps that was suggested for me to take, and I took those steps. Like I followed people that came before me. This wasn't something that I made up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just in that divine order. It's just that way. But it was just not using no matter what. And a lot of prayer, building a firm relationship with God.
Yeah. And it's so interesting. I love that you said that. And I love that you brought that up, because a lot of times people feel like when they're in that space and when things are not going the way that they want, or they may feel they know they're not doing what they should be doing, they run away from God. They don't push towards him because they feel, because somebody told them along the way, that God don't hear you. God don't hear you. God not listening to you because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But the thing that I so love about the God that I serve is that he hears when it's from the heart. You said it. God knows our heart. When it's from the heart, and your cry from the heart is real and is right, God hears you, and he will not separate himself from you, because the fact of the matter is there is nothing that you can do that will change God's mind concerning the purpose he has for your life.
That's right.
And so he's just waiting for us. So as cliche as it may sound, like you said, sounds like a cliche, but it's right. It's real. Because I think most of us, and I have a lot of people that come through here, and a lot of them, say God in a low tone. They don't say it out loud, and people may not know that they believe in God and things like that. But by the time they finish talking about purpose and understanding what it is, we all had the same conclusion. It was God. It was God. It was my praying to him. It was, me crying out and making a decision that this is what I wanted. And Absolutely. So that's good. That's good. You stopped and you prayed.
Absolutely.
I stopped and I prayed. And that's an awesome thing, because God heard your prayers because he knew that they were from your heart.
Yep.
And because he knew that they were from your heart, listen, he said, come on, baby girl, let's do this, and we're going to do it. Yeah. And because of it, you get to see the benefit. You get to see the outcome of what that looks like. And so that's a blessing. That is truly a blessing. And so, Kathy, I want to talk with you for a moment. You got to take yourself off of mute, because I put you on mute because I was hearing some feedback. But right. Kathy, what I love about you, both of you ladies, I've known for quite some time. Kathy has the honor of joining me on this anthology that we're doing for vendors. And so I got an opportunity to learn more about her and her story during this time. And Kathy doesn't look her age. I'm going to put that out there. Kathy does not look her age. She is a woman of wisdom. And I got gray hair. I'm younger than her, and I got gray hair and she ain't got none. Okay.
I do.
You ain't got to like. I've had it all over since I was 30, but I just always rinsed it. Okay. But
Okay.
it's a beautiful thing. I ain't no shame in my game here. I love it. I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have let it grow sooner. But I said all of that to say is number one, we talking about cliches now. You don't look like what you've been through.
For sure.
When I say that statement to you, tell me why that statement represents your life and tell me why that statement what that statement means to you.
That I don't look like what I've been through.
Yes.
Hmm.
Tying it into purpose.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm not really sure about that, how to answer that. Um, because I've seen a lot of things. I just haven't followed them all. My life could have been very different, but I've always been in the church. I'll just tell you, I've always been in the church, and I might not have understood all the principles and and understood God and how to draw closer to Him. But it took me, quite a few years before I understood um, God and my relationship with Him, and that He loved me unconditionally. So I could have been in my grave, quite honestly, before now. But it's just His love for me that I'm still here. That's all I know is just His love. Because I've seen my family go through a lot of things, and it was seven of us, and there's only uh, three of us left now. So yeah, I've just kind of stayed close to God. That's why I'm still here. And yeah, so that's why I'll be 70 in November, but it's just by His grace,
I
for
was trying
sure.
to let you say it. I wasn't gonna tell it on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. I'm so glad to see it. Yeah.
Because you look so beautiful. You still get out, you still moving around, you still doing things. And so when I look at you and I see I don't look like what I've been through because we don't none of us look like what we've been through, thanks be unto God, because we've seen some stuff and we've seen some people. And so God is so good. And so when I see you and I hear those words, I don't look like what I've been through, it's a
Mhm.
testament of the fact that you did not allow life challenges to keep you down. And so
Yes,
somewhere along the line, you understood that you had purpose for being here because you could have given up way back when. You
for
could have
sure, for
given up when
sure.
challenges and different things came, but you didn't. And that's because in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, you knew that there was a level of purpose that was working in you.
Right. I knew it had to be more to life than
Right.
what I saw around me, or maybe what I was doing at the time. I knew it was more for me, and that was not the end of my story. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here with purpose for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
see, while you're not, and so let me tell you something about both of these ladies, right? I was supposed to have someone else on today, and they were not able to make it, and I put out a call to my vendors simply because I did want to highlight some more of them. And I said this would be the perfect place to do it. And so they are not used to being on platforms like this. Um,
Right.
but what I love the yes, because what the yes does, it pushes you towards your next. And that I'm
Mhm.
gonna mute you just for a second, Kathy. It pushes you towards your next, and it opens the doors for you to be able to walk in your purpose in other arenas because you both have a story to tell, and you may feel like you can't articulate it in a certain way, but you've just both done it tonight. You've done it, and I love the fact that Stephanie is like, I've never done this before, I've never shared my story like this before, but I understand that it's this right now, me opening up my mouth, me sharing my story, that is connected and is tied to my purpose. And so when you take a leap of faith, sometimes in your purpose, you may not know whether to go to the right or to the left. You may not know whether to sit down or to stand up, but God honors that step of faith. And you take that step of faith. When you take that step of faith, great things begin to happen in your life. So I salute the both of you. I know that this was not something that you did a whole lot, but this may be the beginning of something that you will do, because you do have something to offer. You do have something to share. And a part of your purpose is your testimony, right? You're sharing your testimony and reminding people about the things that you've been through. Had it not been for the Lord on my side, where would I be? Right? And so there are many times in my life when I went through the many things that I went through, I had no idea. I couldn't even see my way out. But as I begin to understand my purpose, as I begin to understand the fact that I am still here, and because I'm still here, that says a lot. That says a lot concerning the purpose that God has for me. So I'm the thing that I love is that I'm trying to be gentle with the both of you tonight, because I know that there's some stories and some testimonies you have based on some of the things that I know you've been through in your life. And as you continue to get comfortable with those things, God is going to allow you to be able to get around people. Your gift is going to make room for you. You're going to get around people and be able to share those things and help other people get through their process.
And that's the thing, Marcella. Can I just interject for a second?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very, very comfortable with my life and my journey. What I meant by not ever sharing it on this platform is a Facebook platform, because I share today. Okay, I share on many, many platforms in different venues, but it's primarily around people like me.
Right.
That people that have shared, this, and there's a lot of us that, just don't speak up, and that's your choice.
Yeah.
But what I mean, but like people like me that can say, oh, I did that too, or yeah, I did that too.
Right.
So but sharing it on a Facebook platform is new for me.
Right.
And I'm very,
and I
very
got that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
No, I got that.
Yeah. When you said we never shared on this platform, but
that's what I said on this platform.
Yes,
when I
ma'am.
say this platform, I'm talking about Facebook.
Yeah.
This is on Facebook and on YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So because that's a part of your journey, being in around people like you, because that's a part of your healing, and that's a part of how you've gotten better. So I know that
too. Yeah, that's right.
I know that journey. Mm-hmm. I have family members. I know that journey. So when I said this platform, I'm talking about Facebook like this, doing the Facebook Live like this and talking about it, where it's going to be hanging around for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a good thing, because your story is going to bless someone. Your story, there's so many people that they have things on the inside of them, and they feel that they want to share, and they feel like, I'm comfortable around this one, I'm comfortable around that one, but now we bringing you out, we help them pulling you out, because there's some other people who have been assigned to you that are part of the purpose that you have, that they're ready to hear your voice. They've been praying for you. They've been praying for that person who could speak to my life. They've been praying for that person who understands my journey, where I've been through. They've been praying for people like you to be able to come forth so that they can know that there is hope for their lives. Just like you said, you watch people and you follow some of the patterns, or the same thing. Now people are watching you. Yeah. And as people are watching you outside of the arena that you're familiar with. Mm-hmm. So we on the same page with that, baby.
That's right.
And so let me ask you this. So, I just made the statement concerning some of the things that I know that the both of you have gone through. And in particular, I know you have a very close-knit family. And you said, I tagged my mom, and if my dad was still here, I would have tagged him too. What has helped you on your journey that helped you continue to press through and not even want to go back? Because a lot of times things happen in people's lives are the things that causes them to go backwards. Or triggers come and it causes them to revisit something that gave them peace, so-called peace at a time, because they didn't want to deal with what was going on in life. So with you, in terms of your father not being here, what did you do, or how did you navigate through that journey in a way so that it didn't put you back to where you used to be?
I just, so it was so heavy, 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 heavy in the beginning. And at some point through me praying and y'all praying for me, because I felt y'all's prayers and I thank y'all so much. At some point, like the acceptance level, it heightened. And so I began to accept that dad was gone and that this is a part of life. We all gotta go there, right? And we all know that. But when it's your turn to experience the loss, that thing is devastating for me.
Yeah.
It's devastating. And so what helped me not go back is just remembering that it will absolutely not bring him back. It will absolutely not help anything. My son absolutely does not deserve to lose his mom and my grandson and my husband. More importantly, just thinking about like that last day before I got to come into recovery. Remembering that last day and that desperation that I talked about, the things that took me to my knees and want to change my life. Just envisioning that is what helped me. Again, Marcella, again, Kathy, again, awful lot of praying, an awful lot of praying, asking God to help me, asking y'all to help me. Remembering your story with you losing your mom, Marcella,
Yeah.
just watching that, listening to that. Facebook is a venue for me that I use to help me. Like all that negative stuff, like I just keep scrolling. Sometimes I
Right.
go get my popcorn and I'm looking at the comments. You know what I mean? In my humanness, absolutely I do. But like for the most part of it, like Facebook helps me so much. All of y'all's the memes, the good mornings, all of that stuff that we talk about. So I pull like one of my passions and my purposes, Marcella, is that I pull out the positive in people,
Mm-hmm.
the positive things. Really quickly, this girl, this someone said to me this past weekend, she came in the room. I said, your dress is so pretty. And before that, I said somebody else's shoes was pretty. And then when I said that to her, and as I left the room, I heard her saying, like, Stephanie always saying something is pretty. Everything can't be pretty. And so she came out to where I was and she said it again to me. I already heard her. I didn't say anything. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, you always say something is pretty. Everything can't be pretty. And I got offended. And I said, you know what? I'm an optimistic person because I am. I say that with all humility. I said, I'm an optimistic person, but I don't say everything is pretty. Did I tell you that your shoes were pretty? No, I didn't. You know what I mean? I just like to
Right.
keep it real. If it's pretty, I'm going to tell you. Like, that's how we lift each other up. You know what I mean? So that's the stuff that I find in Facebook to help me to continue to get through my dad and not go back and relapse and not go back and use drugs or anything else. Because I could use shopping for an addiction,
Right. Right.
some other stuff I could use too. I got a problem. I had a problem with that too. But I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I stopped smoking cigarettes in 2012. I didn't revert back to that. Yes, I'm telling you. So it's nothing but God that's sustaining me.
Yeah.
God and other people, my husband, an awesome, awesome, awesome pillar in my life. Awesome. I'm telling you, so just remembering, Marcella, that like to live out God's dad's legacy is not to go back and use.
Right.
It's to continue moving forward and live out the life that God first and that he would want me to live. And it just makes me so proud and makes my heart real happy. And I get to smile. I get
Yes.
to smile on every given day. I really do. I'm so grateful.
That's awesome. Awesome. So Kathy, we can just a tidbit, because we don't want them to know your story that's coming out in the book. But you can talk about death too, and how you handled the death of your husband and you allowed it to push you forward rather than just giving up. Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so my husband has some heart issues, and he, well, this year would have been married 20 years. We got married in 2004, and then a couple years after we got married, we found out that he had some heart issues. So, he sought out some cardiologists, and he was, going to see them on a regular basis. But I'm sure it was probably because of his eating that things didn't get better. They end up getting worse, and his heart was kind of dying on him. And so I remember, well, when he was alive, he would help me a lot with vending, that sort of thing. He was a great support in that, and he, believed in what I believed in. And so when he started to get sick, he took off from work because he couldn't work anymore. And I know I called him one day and he didn't respond. And then when I got home that evening, all of the police and the EMTs and all that was here, and he was gone. So it's been a real void, because I got married at 50, and I couldn't, I thought we were going to be together the rest of our lives. So that really took me aback. So I knew I needed to like do something, keep my mind occupied. I've always sold clothing, and I've been in a lot of network marketing type companies, Mary Kay's and the Tupperwares and all of that. But I've sold clothing for a lot of years, over 30 years. But I really had not. 2016 was when I decided to name the company House of Cherry, and I LLC'd it. So I just proceeded from there. But it's kept me busy, kept my mind off of everything concerning, not so much that I didn't have a whole lot of time to like sit and sit in my sorrow, I guess you could say. So, but anyway, I miss some. But anyway, the business is doing good. I'm glad to have it, and it keeps me busy, motivated, and it helps people. I'm sure it helps me, and I'm there for the folks that want to, come see about House of Cherry and see the items that that perhaps there's something that they're interested in, and I believe that the clothes and the things that I have to sell makes them happy. So anyway, it makes me happy. So yeah.
So that's good. So while you're talking about that, just go ahead and finish it and share about your company. Talk about House of Cherry, what you offer, and just go ahead and share about your company since you're talking about it. I'm going to give you the platform to do that right now.
Okay, so like I said, House of Cherry was established in 2016. I've sold many things in the past, but not really put a name to it. So my son actually helped me. He would always talk to me, Mom. You're working for a lot of different companies. Why don't you start a company yourself, a business yourself, where you'd be the boss and you'd make most of the money, rather than sharing it through the a multi-level marketing company. So he helped me on the computer, and we filled out the forms and sent it away. And before you know it, House of Cherry was established, and since then, I've been doing a lot of vending with it. I've ran across and met a lot of people, and it keeps me busy. I enjoy it. I love clothing. I've loved clothing since I was a child. My mother would make some of the clothing that I wore in high school, and I love the company, and I believe that I have a purpose in making people happy. If you come to see me, look through my clothing, I'm sure that you're going to find something that you love. I say that my clothing line is from, let's say, from desk to dinner dressing, because you can go to work one way and with my clothing on, and perhaps if you're going out to meet your spouse or your friends or your family or whatever, going out to have dinner later, you can just add some accessories, switch up what you have on, earrings, jewelry, scarves, or whatever. Put up your hair if you wear it, down. You can, put your hair up, and step out in the House of Cherry, some of the fabulous clothing that I have, and you're going to have a good evening. I do believe that if you look good, then you feel good. And a lot of my clothing is full of color because I love color myself. So, anyway, that's part of my story.
Mm, okay. So let me go ahead and put Stephanie there. Stephanie, go ahead and share. I put you on the spotlight so you can go ahead and talk about your business.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
So Sidekicks to Go LLC. So my husband and I were sitting around in my dad's living room one Sunday, and we just started. It was him and I in the living room, and we just started a dialogue about how we could supplement our income. And my mind went back to my wedding reception in 2005, and and I remembered how the women were leaving the dance floor bare feet, and then they ultimately started leaving the venue bare feet. And so that's where my mind went back to. And then that's where Sidekicks to Go was born. Sidekicks to Go. And my first cousin, shout out to you, Ali Haskins. He Ali and Akbar, let me say that. Ali and Akbar, they had an all-white affair over at the Ukrainian Center. And I bought a bin full of flats, and the ladies just went crazy. Like they needed them. They just didn't want them. They needed them. They needed to get out those heels. And so, and happy birthday, Ali. Today is your birthday. I know. And so, my vision was to get them into vending machines, and God said, no, I'm gonna take you different places. And so I had to, in my obedience, I started vending at different places, and I didn't want to at all. I really didn't. I didn't want to lug them bins from my car to the venue because my husband would pack up the car for me, but I didn't want to do all of that. But I did it, and I'm still doing it. And we have evolved a lot. My collection of shoes have evolved a lot. We've come a long way. I've come a long way. I've got some stuff going on in the background, like I'm going in some different directions as we speak, and I'm real grateful for that. I don't know, sidekicks to go, they just make sense. They really do make sense. I go out to some venues. I don't do as much night vending as I used to because I used to do night parties and galas and upscale events, and the women would start drinking. They would come out and they start going crazy like this table makes so much sense over here. It's just so much fun, y'all. It's very, very much fun interacting with the women, watching their needs get met, and so they can ultimately stay at the venue longer and enjoy themselves comfortably longer. And I don't know. Just continue to look for sidekicks to go. You can find us at sidekicks, SIDEKICKS, the number 2go.com. That's my website. And or my email is sidekicks to go, SIDEKICKS, the number 2go at gmail.com. Just continue to look for us. And we thank you for your support.
And
Thanks
that's
for that,
awesome.
Marcella.
Yeah, so what I want you to do after this broadcast is over, go find this and put your information. You too, Kathy, put your information in the comments. And then that way, if anybody want to reach out to you, they certainly can do that. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for having the conversation with me about purpose. Thank you for sharing your stories and talking about your business and your products. And it is my hope that someone who may be trying to decide if they want to do a business or not will hear your stories and be inspired to do what God has called them to do. And not only that, hear your stories and just stop and say, you know what? I want my life to be better. I want to do things better in life. And I may have experienced a loss. I lost my mother, which was, I don't even have words for that. Stephanie talked about her father. Kathy talked about her husband. So we have experienced losses, and some of you may experience losses of a loved one. It may be a loss of a home, a car, a job. You may have experienced loss across the board, but we want you to be encouraged, and we want you to know that it all is not lost. You can can continue to go. You can continue to grow. And I will say what I said earlier. It doesn't matter what you have done. God has not changed his mind concerning the purpose he has for your life. Purpose is everything. Uncover your purpose, discover your purpose, get in purpose, walk in purpose, and live a purpose-driven life so that you can experience the joy and the happiness that you long for. God is available to you. He's not some God that's so far away that he can't be reached or touched. All you have to do is cry out in your heart. Stephanie proved that today in her sharing. You cry out in your heart. He will be available. He is available to help you along the way. He has given all of us gifts and talents and visions and dreams. And if we continue to follow through on all of those, we will experience the things that we love to do. I always say our wealth is tied to our purpose. You find out what your purpose is, you can experience wealth. And wealth is not always financial money. You know, one person might say, just give me $50,000 and I'm good for the rest of my life because I know how to make that work. Another person may say, I need $100,000. Somebody may say, I need $1 million. I say that to say we are all different in our experiences. So don't look at other people with that imposter syndrome saying, I don't deserve it. I don't belong here. I can't do that. No, be who God has called you to be and excel and be everything God has called you to be. So before I go, I want to give Stephanie and Kathy 60 seconds to just give some final words, encourage the people, share whatever is on your heart, and then we'll go from there. So Kathy, I'm going to ask you to go first. Take yourself off of mute.
Well, I think, kind of sort of like you said, I think you need to do what you love in life. That's what makes you happy. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. And it'll take you, it's like you never work a day in your life if you find your passion, you do what you love, and, that's it. Nothing could be any better. That's what I think. I love what I do. I was doing it when I was, working a 9 to 5. I would still do it in the evenings and the afternoon. So finally, when I retired, I just went full force. And so, yeah, I don't see an end to it. It makes me happy. And I hope that my service and support to folks make them happy too. And that's it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Kathy. Stephanie?
Yeah, that's awesome. Be who you are. I just want to say be who you are. And if you want to change is definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Reach out to somebody, pray first. Like Marcella, her motto, pray first and then do something. Pray and then do something. What that something is may matter between life and death for you, but change is definitely possible. I'm here to live that and show you that change is definitely possible. I don't know. My favorite thing to say is, and I'll end with this, is that what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Continue to be who you are, regardless of what anybody says, because I'm still going to give compliments like I do. I'm still going to say, I love you. People say, you love too much. No, I don't. I'm just continue to be who I am. Thanks, Marcella, so much. Thank
Oh,
you.
you are so welcome. I appreciate both of you ladies. Thank you to all of you who are commenting. We promise you we're going to go back in the comments and come back and say hello to you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we pray and hope that you heard something here tonight that encouraged you, inspired you, empowered you to be your best God self, because you don't have to settle. There's something so amazing that God has for your life. Uncover your purpose, discover it, rediscover it, do what you need to do so that you can shine and live the life that God has designed for you. So until next time, we will be back here next Monday. I know it's on the Monday for sure. Next Monday for Marcella and Friends. And if you are listening and you are a person of integrity and good character and you have an upcoming event that you would like to share, hit me up. We can talk about it. And there might be a possibility for you to come on here and hang out with me. I love talking, having this conversation about purpose, but more importantly, I love doing my part in giving people a platform so that they can shine. So I love you all. Be blessed. Have an amazing night. Don't forget, y'all, walk in purpose and be everything that God has called you to be. Be a part of your own rescue, too. I forgot to say that today. Do what you need to do. Be a part of your own rescue. Guys, y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to say goodnight to our audience tonight. We love you all. We appreciate you. And we promise we're going to be over there in the comments in a little bit. Give us a minute. We're going to come and say hello. All right. So peace and blessings to you all. Have an amazing night.